Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be flying from an airport I haven't flown from since 2015. And the funny thing is this is actually the closest airport to my house. Today I'm going to be flying on the Blue Island ATR-42 operated by Flybe from Southampton Airport to Jersey in the Channel Islands. I've wanted to make a video on Southampton Airport for a very long time, and so this is finally my chance to do so. I arrived at the airport at 7 AM and headed into the main terminal building to check in. Southampton Airport peaked last year with just over 2 million passengers passing through its doors. This makes it the 18th busiest airport in the UK, and the busiest on the south coast, with Bournemouth Airport being its closest competition at only 670,000 passengers a year. After checking in security, I then headed through the duty-free store and into the main terminal. Southampton's main terminal was built in 1997 and features a duty-free and WH Smith on the lower level and a bar and a Costa on the upper level. And as I had a fair amount of time before my flight, that is where I'd be heading. I had a latte and enjoyed the view over the airport. But now I think it's time for a history lesson. The first aircraft to land on the site was a monoplane Moonbeam Mark II in 1910. At that time the airport was nothing more than just a field, but in 1917 that all changed with World War I. The United States Navy needed an area in an allied country that was closer to the action than the United States, so during World War I it was primarily used by the Americans. After the Great War, Southampton kept its military prowess and was used by the Royal Air Force to test and fly new aircraft. And in 1936 an aircraft first took flight there that you may have heard of. Now for the 0.1% of you who don't know what the Spitfire is, the Spitfire is one of, if not the most advanced aircraft of its time. It set records with its top speed ever reaching Mach 0.92 and its top altitude of 40,000 feet. The Spitfire was also the first aircraft to pull over 10 Gs and recover. Not only this, but it was also the plane to defend the free world from the Nazis. The Spitfire shot down a record-breaking 521 aircraft, which equates to 27 Nazi losses to every one Royal Air Force loss. After the success of the Spitfire, Southampton Airport gained the name RAF Eastleigh in 1935, before being changed again 1 year later in 1936 to RAF Southampton. RAF Southampton then continued its military service until 1959, when the airport was purchased by J.N. Summers, who laid the foundation for it to become a regional airport. And after being owned by various owners since, it then started to take shape into the Southampton Airport we know and love today. Currently only 4 airlines serve the airport, and only 2 of those 4 are all year round. Flybe and Angry Air service the airport all year round, while EasyJet flies seasonally on the A320 to Geneva in the winter, and Velotti fly charters on the 717 to Palma de Mallorca. The airport has also seen airlines such as KLM and Air France on E-jets to Europe, and in 2019 Southampton saw the largest plane ever hit its runway, with a Boeing C-32 being used as Air Force One to carry Donald Trump to the 75th anniversary of the D-Day celebrations. At that time, Southampton also saw the French Air Force Falcon 7X, Royal Air Force BAE 146 and Czech Republic Challenger 600. But now moving back to 2020, and a far more important person is trying to catch their Air Force One to Jersey. After watching a few arrivals, I then decided to head down to my gate for boarding. And this will be my plane for today's flight. This is a 30-year-old Blue Island ATR-42 operating for Flybe. One cool thing about the ATR-42 is how passengers have to board from the back, as cargo is loaded from the front. But then after walking down to the front of the plane, I found my seat. My seat for today included a tray table, a seat back pocket, not a lot of legroom.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome on board this service over to Jersey, operated by Blue Island, a Flybe franchise.
But a great view from under the wing.
My name is Jenny, and I'm here for your safety and comfort.
The cabin seems pretty clean, but not a whole lot of seats were taken. But not long after that, we began our pushback and taxi out to runway 20. Cruising altitude for today's flight would only be 10,000 feet, but then again the flight is only 40 minutes long. But not long after takeoff, the one crew member for today's flight started coming around the cabin and offering food and drinks. Personally, I didn't get anything on today's flight, but it seems pretty well stocked, and looking through the magazine, there seemed to be a lot on offer. But not before long, we began our descent into Jersey. Jersey Airport being a similar size to Southampton meant no jet bridges at this airport as well, so I made my walk across the apron to the terminal building. Overall, the ATR-42 is a very nice plane to fly on, and I would definitely recommend it. So, I've arrived in Jersey, no idea what to do. It's currently 9:30 in the morning and my flight is at 2:15. The airport's just over there, as you can hear. And I have no idea what's in Jersey. I know it's an island. There's a plane moving over there, it's a private jet. I've come to kind of like the general aviation area. There's some pretty cool looking planes. There's this cool looking like Jersey Airlines plane. There's an old hangar, actually that building over there. You come out there. This is the terminal I'll come back into. But yeah, you come out there just next to this old hangar that's all kind of like almost abandoned. It says Jersey Airlines on it, and I presume this is like an ex-airline of Jersey, the old Orngry Air, I guess you could say, or Blue Islands or whatever. And I guess this is one of their old planes. This is quite a neat plane. I'm not sure what type this is, but it's kind of like the general aviation area, as I said. There's some pretty neat private jets. I think there's a TBM over there, a couple TBMs, and there's a Falcon as well there. Look at that. That's pretty neat, as well as the tower down there. There's a BA plane in. They fly to Gatwick from here, which is pretty cool. And apparently Jet2 and EasyJet, so they operate quite large planes for Jersey anyway. That's like A320s, 737s. But they're not here, only the BA plane and then a couple Flybes and all of that. I might try and find the end of the runway. I'm not sure where that is. I'm gonna have a look on Google Maps. And yeah, currently I'm just walking about. Yeah, I'm gonna, I think that might be my plane. Yeah, I think that's my plane. It's the Blue Islands ATR-42. That's my plane going out somewhere. I would check Flight Radar 24, but there's no 4G here. I'm guessing the runway's down there, just from where he's heading. He's heading down here. So I'm gonna head down here and see where the end of the runway is, because it'd be pretty cool to see the BA take off, maybe catch a couple arrivals, but yeah, I'll see where we're going. So I presume, just from where that Learjet is heading, I'm guessing the end of the runway is down here. I might find like a bush I can hide behind and just record planes for a couple hours, but yeah, that's where that guy's heading, so I'm gonna head down here. Okay, this is pretty neat. You see this plane here? This is the one they used in, don't know if you've ever seen it, American Made, the film where what's his face, that famous actor, Tom Cruise, is that it? Yeah, he drops like a load of guns and drugs off in like Colombia and stuff. It's pretty neat. So yeah, that's kind of cool seeing that plane. It's a bit old, look at it, it's a bit moldy. I wouldn't really want to fly in it, but there we go. I've kind of found the end of the runway now. But this isn't exactly the ideal place. So okay, it goes onto a dirt trail now. It's interesting, developing. But these houses along here, I would love to live in one of these. Like, look at that view. That is an amazing view, especially in a 2-story home. That'd be amazing. I'm just gonna wait until the BA departs. That departs out to Gatwick, as I said. I just gotta find a nice place to kind of, good if there was a bench around here, because I have a long time. Restricted zone. Oh, lit. No drone zone. Luckily I didn't bring my drone. The other thing that sucks is there is no 4G or data here, so I can't even like check when anything leaves or if my flight's cancelled, any of that. I can't waste my time on Instagram, I can't do any of that. I'm just walking about with no data. I'm surprised, to be honest. Jersey is a pretty developed place. I saw a Tesla, which shows a lot. Yeah, that's a pretty good view of the runway. You can see that is the runway. There's no planes, and I can't check Flight Radar 24 to see what's inbound or not. So yeah, we'll see. But that is where I'm going to be ending this week's video. In next week's video, we'll be flying back on the Flybe EQ400, and I'll be exploring the more political side of this supposedly doomed airline. But with that, I want to thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.